Do you ever just sit in silence and still feel loud inside? Like your brain is playing 100 tabs at once, flipping between failures, future plans, regrets, and what ifs? That constant mental noise, that non-stop internal chaos is why most people are stuck. You stir busy in your head, but not productive in your life. That sips the trap. That sips what nobody tells you. It's not the world draining your energy. It's your own mind running laps without a finish line. You're thinking about what went wrong last year, what you said in that conversation 3 weeks ago, whether you're falling behind, whether people are judging you, all while scrolling on your phone trying to escape the same thoughts you keep feeding. You wake up already tired. You didn't fight a war. You just overthought everything. The modern world glorifies hustle, but most people aren't hustling. They're mentally sprinting in place, always thinking, rarely acting. Your mind running 24/7 is a symptom of distraction, a symptom of being disconnected from action. You set overanalyzing because you set not executing. Thinking becomes your shield from doing, because if you act, you might fail. But if you only think, you stay safe, but stuck. That's cowardice disguised as strategy. You're not strategic, you're afraid, and fear talks loud. Look around. Everyone's anxious. Everyone's overwhelmed. But ask yourself, overwhelmed with what? Most people haven't done anything real all day. They sit just thinking about doing things, and they wonder why their mind feels like it's on fire. It sips because when you don't give your brain a mission, it creates its own chaos. The mind is like a weapon pointed in the wrong direction. It destroys you. Pointed with precision, it can build an empire. You want peace? You want clarity? Stop trying to think your way into a better life. Start acting your way into one. The mind will follow the body, not the other way around. You ever noticed how after a hard workout, your mind shuts up for a bit? That's because movement destroys mental noise. Most people are too focused on themselves to think about you. You sit and overthink decisions because you think one wrong move ruins everything. It doesn't step. You sit not fragile. You sit not glass. You sit when treating yourself like porcelain. It sits time to stop being soft with yourself. Life is simple when you reduce noise, but we keep adding more content, more opinions, more scrolling, more comparison. And every time your mind races, you're pouring fuel on the fire. You want to slow the mind down? Starve it. Starve it of a junk. Starve it of opinions. Starve it of weakness. Feed it purpose. Feed it discipline. Feed it discomfort. Because that's where strength lives. The reason your mind never shuts off is because deep down you know you're meant for more, but you're doing less. There's a war inside you between potential and procrastination, and it's loud and it hurts. But the only way to win that war is to fight, not think, not fantasize. Fight. You don't need to fix your thoughts. You need to fix your habits. You need to go to bed tired, not mentally, but physically, emotionally, spiritually. Because you gave today your all. You went to war with your weakness. You took action, you moved. And movement creates momentum, not clarity, not motivation, movement. Let them call you cold. Let them say you changed. Let them say you stare obsessed. Better that than mentally exhausted from living for everyone but yourself. Their stits, a reason the wolves are calm. They're focused. They're not in 50 places at once. They're locked in. One mission, one thought, one kill. Be a wolf, not a worried sheep. Your mind's running 24/7. Good. Then redirect it. Feed it better questions. Challenge it. Train it. Don't let it run wild. Because a wild mind makes a weak man, and a focused mind, that's unstoppable. That's where kings are made. You see, most people don't even realize how deep the prison goes. The real prison is not bars or walls. It quote saws your own habits. Your own weak decisions. Every time you scroll instead of study, you're telling your brain that dopamine is more important than discipline. And your mind listens. Every single time. People want peace, but they chase stimulation. They want clarity, but they never sit in silence. The mind is exhausted because it's overstimulated. You're switching between apps every 10 seconds. You're listening to 5 opinions at once. You're never present, and you wonder why you feel disconnected from life. You've let the outside world hijack your inner world, and that's why your mind runs, not with purpose, but with panic. Here's the truth. Your mind isn't supposed to run 24/7. It's supposed to work, then recover, just like your muscles. But recovery requires boundaries. Most people don't have boundaries. Their phone sleeps with them. Their to-do list follows them into the shower. There's no off switch, no stillness, just noise. Want to win this game? Master the switch. Learn to go from on to off with intention. When you're working, go all in. No distractions. When you rest, actually rest. No guilt, no thoughts about what you're missing. Because the moment your mind starts multitasking, you lose depth. And without depth, there's no mastery. Focus is the ultimate flex. And most people don't have it. Not because they're weak. Every notification, every short-form video, every hit of dopamine, it's a micro hit that trains your brain to be shallow. You can't read a full page without checking your phone. You can't sit in silence without getting uncomfortable. That's a symptom, a warning. You've got to rewire. You want peace? Build structure, create rituals. Wake up at the same time, train when it's uncomfortable. Read instead of scroll. Track your habits, talk to yourself with respect. These things sound basic, but they're the bricks that build mental dominance. Your thoughts run wild because your life lacks anchors. Create anchors. Discipline is not about rules. It's about freedom from chaos. Let's talk about identity, because your mind runs wild when you don't know who you are, You act like 10 different people depending on who you're around. You say yes when you mean no. You try to fit in everywhere and belong nowhere. No wonder you sit mentally drained. You're playing a role instead of living with purpose. You're not tired of life. You're tired of the lies you keep telling yourself. So ask yourself, who are you when no one sits watching? When no one sits clapping? When there sits no Instagram story to post? That version, that silent, raw, stripped down version, that's who you need to build. That's the version that survives the storms. That's the version you respect in the mirror. Build him. Stop reacting. Start choosing. When your mind starts racing, don't chase every thought. You don't need to believe everything you think, You need to lead your thoughts. Be the general, Be the commander, Don quote, to be the victim of your own mind. You weren't born distracted. You were born focused. Watch a kid build with blocks. They sit locked in. Hours pass. That sits your original nature, full attention, full presence. But the world trained it out of you. Now it's your job to untrain the nonsense. You don't need to find yourself. You need to strip away the noise and return to who you were before the world confused you. There's no magic fix for an overthinking mind, but there is a path. Move, train, speak less, work more, read deeply, journal your chaos, cut weak people, cut weak habits, take cold showers, sleep early, keep promises to yourself. All of this will teach your brain one thing: I am in control now. Because that's the goal. Control, not over the world, not over other people. Control over your state, your mood, your direction. That's power. That's rare. That's the 1%. The rest of the world will always be mentally busy, emotionally scattered, and physically soft. Let them be. You become the outlier. When your mind runs 24/7, you've got two choices. Let it drain you or let it drive you. Use the fire, Use the overthinking to plan moves, not problem. Let your restlessness become hunger. Let your chaos become construction. Turn the overdrive into overpower. That's what warriors do.